I never thought my wedding would turn into the craziest family drama of my life. Growing up, I always knew my sister had a way of making everything about her. Birthdays, graduations, even family vacations. Somehow, she always managed to twist things so the spotlight landed on her. But I figured this was my wedding, my big day, and there was no way she could hijack that. Oh, how wrong I was. It all started a few months before the wedding when I announced my engagement. My fiancé and I were thrilled, and my parents were over the moon. Everyone congratulated us, hugged us, toasted to our future, everyone except my sister. She smiled, but it was that tight, fake smile she wore when she wanted people to think she was happy. But inside, she was boiling. Later that night, she pulled me aside and said, "Well, I guess you beat me to it." That should have been my first red flag. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe she was just jealous. Maybe she was just surprised. But the little digs kept coming. Every time we talked about the wedding, she'd say something like, "Oh, you're doing that venue. That's kind of small, don't you think?" Or, "That dress style is nice, but I don't know if it's really flattering on you." It was endless. Still, I told myself I wouldn't let her ruin this for me. Fast forward to the wedding week. My fiancé and I were running around finalizing last-minute details, and I was already stressed enough. Then my maid of honor, who, by the way, was not my sister, pulled me aside and said, "You need to know something." My heart dropped. She explained that my sister had been secretly texting the wedding planner behind my back, trying to change things. The seating chart, the flower arrangements, even the playlist for the reception. She was telling people she knew better, that I'd be too stressed to handle it all. I felt like the ground was pulled out from under me. This was my wedding, and she was treating it like her personal project. I confronted her that night, and she laughed, actually laughed in my face. "Relax," she said. "I'm just helping. You'll thank me when everything looks better than your Pinterest board ever could." I wanted to scream. But I bit my tongue because I didn't want to start World War III right before my wedding. Then came the wedding day itself. The morning started beautifully. My bridesmaids and I were getting ready, sipping mimosas, and everything felt perfect. For a brief moment, I thought maybe, just maybe, the storm had passed. Then I saw her. She walked into the bridal suite wearing a white dress. Not cream, not beige, white. My jaw dropped. The bridesmaids froze. One of them actually whispered, "Is she serious?" My sister twirled and said, "What? It's not a wedding dress. It's just a dress." Calm down. I felt the rage boiling inside me, but I told myself I wouldn't let her ruin this. I had bigger things to focus on. The ceremony began. I walked down the aisle, my fiancé's eyes filled with tears, and for a moment it was everything I'd dreamed of. But halfway through the vows, I noticed movement in the crowd. My sister had her phone out, not to take pictures. She was live streaming, narrating it too, like some kind of commentator. "Here she comes," I heard her whisper loudly. Oh my God, she looked so nervous. Let's see if she cries. I wanted to sink into the floor. After the ceremony, we moved to the reception hall. Guests mingled. The decorations looked stunning, and I thought maybe I could salvage the night. But my sister had other plans. She had actually switched the place cards on some tables. Couples who were supposed to sit together were separated. Old family feuds were reignited because suddenly two people who hadn't spoken in years were sitting side by side. Chaos spread like wildfire. And who was in the middle of it, laughing and sipping champagne like a queen bee? My sister. But the final straw came during the first dance. My husband and I stepped onto the dance floor, the music began, and I felt like I was in a movie. Then, out of nowhere, my sister strutted onto the dance floor, grabbed a microphone, and shouted, "Let's make this more fun." She actually tried to hijack our first dance and turn it into some kind of group party. I froze. My husband froze. The crowd was stunned. Some people laughed nervously. Others looked horrified. That was it. I wasn't going to let her steal one more moment. I grabbed the microphone from her hand, looked her dead in the eyes, and said, "You've had enough attention. This is not your day. It's mine. And if you can't respect that, you can leave." The entire room went silent. My sister's face turned red, then pale. For once in her life, she was speechless. She stormed out of the hall, slamming the door behind her. And you know what? The rest of the night was perfect. We danced, we laughed, we ate cake, and the energy was better than I could have imagined. People came up to me afterward and said they admired how I handled it. But here's the sweet part of the revenge. A few weeks later, I found out why she had been acting so crazy. She had been planning to announce her own engagement at my wedding. That's right. She thought she'd use my reception with all the family and friends gathered as the stage for her big reveal. But when I called her out and shut her down, she lost her moment. Word eventually got out anyway, but instead of being the glamorous announcement she wanted, people just rolled their eyes. She tried to hijack her sister's wedding, they said. Classic. Nobody celebrated her engagement the way she expected, and she knew it was her own fault. Looking back, I don't regret standing up to her. It was the first time I drew a hard boundary with her, and honestly, it felt liberating. She may be my sister, but she doesn't get to control my life, my wedding, or my happiness. And if she ever tries again, well, let's just say I'm ready this time.